Two undisputed champions, one ring, and all the pressure at the center. Canelo Álvarez versus Terence "Bud" Crawford. Many are already calling it the fight of the decade, but let's be real, this clash won't be close no matter how it ends, whether through dominance or devastation. One man will leave humiliated. Let's break it down.
The others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo, he's gonna slow down. So I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean?
So, if you've been following boxing Twitter or scrolling through YouTube comments lately, you've probably come across this take. Canelo will have a relatively light workload in this one, and, on paper, it all makes perfect sense.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Álvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Álvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Canelo is a natural super middleweight, 168 pounds of solid muscle, power, and relentless pressure. He's faced opponents like Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Sergey Kovalev, fighters who aren't just talented, but seasoned, elite warriors who truly belong in this division. Crawford's last bout was at 147, not even at junior middleweight. That's a 21-pound leap, about the weight of a Thanksgiving turkey. And you think Crawford will just glide in and out of this man's range without consequence? Let's not forget Canelo's granite chin. He took GGG's best shots for 36 rounds without so much as a flinch, unless Bud plans to walk into the ring carrying a baseball bat. That power isn't making a dent up here.
Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's gonna do to him? Run him out of the ring. You know what's laughable also? Dana White being named the promoter of this fight, considering he's never been in the boxing space. Has no stable of boxers. He didn't negotiate. And is being handed this fight on a silver platter and called promoter. He's the trust fund baby of boxing. That's it. The trust fund baby of boxing. And get this. The fight will take place during the day on September 13th in Las Vegas. During the day. So Canelo will fight during the day on Netflix just to accommodate UFC Noche later that evening on a different network. So does that mean this fight isn't important? Do they not give a about the fans or viewership? Why is it that Canelo has to fight during the day on Mexican Independence Weekend? And UFC, with a roster of names I've never heard of, is going on prime time. Cinco de Mayo. He's fighting in Riyadh, and now he's fighting during the day on the biggest weekend in boxing. Yeah, Canelo will fight anywhere. Anytime he's told, because he doesn't give a... All he cares is about the money. Doesn't give a fan.
Look, Crawford is an incredible fighter, but he's never competed above 147 pounds. He skipped 150 for altogether. There's no gradual adjustment. Here, he's jumping straight from facing welterweights to standing across from a man who can end your night with a single body shot. That's a huge leap. Many believe Crawford will be too small, overly cautious, and dependent on his speed. But speed won't save you when you're being stalked by a tank wearing 10-ounce gloves.
Canelo and Bud. Who you like in this fight?
Canelo.
Why? Because Bud had to move up 3 classes?
Yes. And in the history of boxing, I've never seen anybody move up 2 classes and be successful.
Well, Roy did.
I mean, but not in one jump, not in one leap.
Right, you're right.
It was a here,
right.
Light, heavyweight, fight a few fights,
right.
Okay, heavyweight. We talking about he just fought 147 one fight ago.
Right.
And then you gonna fight at 168?
Yeah. Did he fight his last fight at 54?
Yes, just one fight
right.
though.
And so now he'd go from 54 to 60 to 68.
Right.
And then he doesn't have a rehydration clause, so Canelo might be 180. 185, 190.
190.
Right. Do you think he thinks he can outbox Canelo?
I think he can outbox Canelo too until he get hit.
We also have to be honest, Canelo hates slick movers. He struggled before with elusive boxes like Mayweather and Bivol, but those men had the size to trouble him and the stamina to last at 168. Crawford will need to be absolutely flawless for the full 36 minutes. The real question is, can he do it without getting caught? That's the billion-dollar mystery.
Canelo Crawford coming up September. What do you think about that fight?
Canelo Crawford, good fight. Good fight. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength, because it's hard to go up in the high weight and maintain your speed. So speed is the key. Like he should focus on speed, footwork, and improve the power.
Are you still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you feel
course,
big.
yeah. I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened in Riyadh, because I travelled with him to the fight, and, you know, but it's a 50-50 fight. I think gun to head, I'm probably picking Crawford right now. But I want Canelo to win. And he can win for sure. But Terence is going to make it really tricky and awkward for him. I don't think he's going to like that kind of fight.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. While most fans are backing Canelo, many boxing insiders aren't just quietly supporting Crawford, they're openly endorsing him.
If Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo, or you really think that he's gonna knock out Crawford? I would pick Terence Crawford to beat a Canelo Álvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't gonna tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret, is the reason why I'm picking him to win the fight. So
live only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Andre Ward, Tim Bradley, and Sean Porter all share the same prediction: Crawford is going to give a masterclass. So, let's break down why Terence Crawford might just be the most complete fighter on the planet. A switch hitter with killer instincts, exceptional boxing IQ, razor-sharp timing, and, above all, a cold-blooded mentality.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter, and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68? I
don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah. Yeah, I can make one.
And if there's one thing people keep pointing out, it's that Bud already believes he's better than Canelo. In interviews, he doesn't sound worried. He doesn't sound like a guy just moving up in weight. He sounds like a man who's already cracked the code. Crawford has studied Canelo's tendencies, the slow feet, the predictable rhythm, the need to plant before throwing power shots. His plan: hit, move, frustrate, and overwhelm him with volume and angles until there's nothing left.
Do you feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo Álvarez?
That's the $1 million question. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters. Yeah. He's not getting rattled at all. No. Berlanga's a big kid. So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford gonna keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's gonna come at him hard. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem, and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't you think Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fighter? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet.
Obviously, Canelo has the power to hurt anyone.
In this game, power means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off you, or you don't know how because it's too much pressure, and the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know? And he doesn't run, and he has that heart. He's a dog. He has that heart. You want to fight me? I'm going to fight you.
I think Bud going to cook Canelo. I think he's going to cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is going to be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height-wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, no.
Corey, how you got a decision established? Because Redman and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop him.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone and talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud could crack too. So
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
September 13th. Now, what's interesting is I actually looked up the odds on this. I went on betonline.ag.
Yeah.
Canelo is minus 180. Crawford is 139, which means that Canelo is favored. Not massively favored. So it's like the way this works is that you'd have to bet $180 to make $100. Almost 2-1, like 1.8 favored over Crawford, who's 139. So that means if you bet $100 on Crawford, you'll get $139 back.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I'm just kind of learning this now. Do you feel that Canelo's going to win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just put that out there. Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo part 2. That's what I think.
I mean, Canelo is naturally heavier.
Yeah, Crawford ain't gonna knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's gonna land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, so you're one of the points. Okay.
Because points. I just think still Canelo needs to be set before he fires. His basics are solid, but Crawford is jazz fusion, I feel. He can do unconventional things where Canelo is conventional. He's perfect conventional, but it's kind of like, it's like Allen Iverson. It's the crossover. It's the thing that you just, just a little bit different. That just gives you, all you need is that little bit of an edge. And I think Crawford has that.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Crawford has hurt bigger men before. Jeff Horn was larger, Kell Brook was stronger, Sean Porter was tougher but broke them all down. He doesn't just win, he dismantles. Once he smells blood, the fight is essentially over, and he's a better finisher than anyone Canelo has faced in recent years. If Bud can survive the opening rounds and start tagging Canelo clean, the momentum flips suddenly. Canelo's the one chasing, missing, and getting touched up by a ghost. Here's the real kicker. This fight probably won't be close in either direction. Think about it: if Canelo starts landing early and walks through Crawford's best shots, it's done. Without earning Canelo's respect, but will get walked down, smothered by body shots, uppercuts, and relentless pressure. The weight difference will be glaring, and it could even look like a mismatch, or if both men neutralize each other's strengths, it might end up a tense stalemate.
I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev.
Kovalev was older. He does.
Billy Joe.
Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you named is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching him, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
But if Bud is too quick, too slick, and keeps Canelo swinging at air, we could be in for a boxing masterclass. Canelo will be plotting his next move while Crawford peppers him with counters all night. And remember, Canelo doesn't throw in bunches. If he's forced to overwork and can't cut off the ring, he'll start dropping rounds one after another. This won't be a war, it'll be surgical. No split decision vibes here. It'll be one man looking a clear level above. Canelo's legacy is already sealed. He's fought everyone: Kovalev, Jacobs, Mayweather, Bivol. Win or lose, he's a Hall of Famer. If he beats Crawford, critics will cry weight bully or say he beat a smaller man. If he loses, it'll be to the current pound-for-pound king. Either way, his brand stays strong and his bank account stays full. For Crawford, though, this is the biggest gamble of his career. If he pulls it off, he ascends to boxing god status, undisputed at 140, undisputed at 147, and a win over Canelo at 168. That's immortality. But if he's exposed, knocked down, or outmuscled, the pound-for-pound talk ends immediately. It'll be seen as overreaching, a bad business move, and a humbling moment that could change his whole narrative. Yes, this is high risk but with even higher reward. One slip, and the tide turns instantly. The truth is, this fight is bigger than belts. Officially, only the WBA and Ring Magazine titles at 168 are on the line. But what fans really care about is status, legacy, and bragging rights. It's old school Canelo versus the new generation Crawford army. Mexico versus Omaha. Power versus skill. Pressure versus precision.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for And Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
If Crawford wins, he'll prove that skill can conquer any obstacle, and you can bet every boxing podcast, fan page, and Twitter thread will be talking about it for years. So, here's the real question. Who's more likely to take control? If we're being practical, the safe pick is Canelo. He's in his comfort zone, not cutting or adding excessive weight, used to performing on the biggest stages, and physically, he's the bigger, stronger, and more seasoned fighter at this weight. But boxing isn't always logical. Crawford has a knack for defying expectations. He was the underdog against Spence, and look how that ended. The man is always composed, calculating every move, and once he finds his rhythm, it's game over. If Crawford can weather the early pressure, stay off the ropes, and make Canelo miss, he has the tools to put on a masterclass. But if he's even slightly off, if the extra weight slows him down just a fraction, he's in danger, because Canelo only needs one moment to turn the fight. So, what do you believe in, size or skill? Drop your answer in the comments and tell us why. Will it be a Canelo beatdown or a Crawford clinic? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of our breakdowns leading up to this massive fight. See you in the next one.